The Real Monica Adams Show is brought to you by Exist Stretch. Stop by for your free consultation and 30-minute introductory stretch today.
And welcome into the Real Monica Adams Show. We are in the Exist Stretch Studios, and we've been talking about all the different amazing therapists that they have at Exist Stretch. That's Tim, by the way. He stretched me the other day while Trisha was stretching Jim, and I cannot wait to let you know what he felt after I've been telling you the amazing changes that I have felt ever since I've been in there the last few times. But yes, Jim finally went in, and today we're going to talk about our first responders. So do me a favor, text or call or email. Wake these friends and family members up and tell them today is all about our first responders. You've got a police officer in the family like I do, maybe a firefighter, paramedic, maybe it's a dispatcher, or on the front lines like our doctors and nurses. They all need to take care of themselves, and we'll tell you why as we discuss first responders and getting stretched today. I cannot wait to tell you all about that. So again, welcome in. ExistStretch.com is where you can go to find out more information. 2 locations, by the way. One is in Arnold and one is in St. Louis Hills. So welcome into the show. I hope you're having a great start to your morning. If not, hopefully we can give you a little energy. Ask Zach, by the way. He'll probably comment for you. I am on fire this morning. Maybe I need to regularly get up and do a 4 a.m. workout because that's what I did today. I rode for 30 minutes, then got ready, and I don't have any caffeine in me, so watch out, folks. I am bouncing off the walls because I got my workout in. So now I understand why Mark Wahlberg has his 4 a.m. club. It really works. And by the way, you will want to get your workout in the morning. If you are going to go for a walk, I hope you did it already. If not, it's already sticky and hot out there. We're going to start with weather, and then we've got a lot of news you can use stories today. We've got sports talking about the Cardinals. Did you see the game? They shut them out. We'll tell you what the score was. FIFA World Cup starts tomorrow, and we've got some fun things in the National Day of Calendar. Feel free to drop a comment in. Let me know if you got your workout in. Let me know what you're doing this morning and where you're watching from. We'd love to see where our audience is. All right, weather-wise, this is some serious weather like we talked about yesterday, and in fact, depending on where you are, you may see some hail. That's going to be to the north of us. A high of 94. That is the temperature, but the heat index, as you can see, 102. That is today. 104 tomorrow. So we've got some afternoon storms moving into the north of us. So we're talking about more towards like Bowling Green, Troy, maybe Columbia, even into that Litchfield, Illinois area. You could see the possibility of some storms late into this evening and into tomorrow morning. So I'd say that 10 p.m. to about 4 a.m. time frame. Again, isolated storms and maybe hail, but then more of a severe risk coming in tomorrow afternoon, evening, and that does include the St. Louis area. And then, of course, it gets cooler after we see all of that come into play. We will get beyond that and get into the weekend. And I like the fact that as we head to the weekend and you've got all your plans with your family, 84, beautiful day on Friday. Saturday and Sunday, we've got a slight chance on Saturday and then a 50% chance on Sunday of rain. High 87 Saturday, 81 on Sunday. The Cardinals are out of town. They come back in town on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. Should be nice to go to the ballpark. 78 on Monday. Tuesday, by the way, I'm heading to see Hairspray at the Muni as the Muni opens up for the season. It looks great. 64 for an evening. Now that's what I like at the Municipal Opera. 83 by the time we get to a week from today. And then Thursday and Friday of next week, for right now at least, it is in the mid to upper 80s and just slight chances of rain. But we'll check with Beckett Moore as we talk with him on Mondays and Fridays. So we'll be checking in with him again in just a couple of weeks. Well, we are talking about first responders today. We're going to kick things off. St. Louis County has a new police chief. You might remember we talked about Kenneth Gregory retiring. Well, now this is your new chief, and welcome aboard, sir. Colonel Juan Cox, the acting chief since May 1st. He has 30 years of experience with the county police, by the way, since 1995. And St. Louis County Executive Sam Page released a statement congratulating Chief Cox, saying, "Congratulations, Chief, a respected leader within the police department and in the community. He is passionate about public safety and working with our residents. I appreciate as an early advocate for the region's Save Lives Now Regional Violence Reduction Initiative, a collaborative approach that has been successful across across the country. By the way, he will be the 11th chief for the department. And we're going to continue to talk about police as we talk about budgeting. This is for state lawmakers asking the governor to intervene in the St. Louis police budget battle. And by the way, that has been ongoing. A state rep is asking the governor to intervene now. State Rep Steve Butts said he supported state control of St. Louis police, but says the situation has escalated. What began as an effort to improve conditions for our officers has become increasingly contentious. He said the governor should step in, writing, quote, "Given your well-earned reputation as a deal maker, I believe your leadership is essential at this very moment to restore functionality and cooperation within the board, rather than further isolating city leadership." The police department recently lost a court battle as it seeks to add millions of dollars more to its budget than what the city had allocated. And we keep hearing about less and less officers and needing to pay them more. I mean, come on. We're talking a lot about our first responders today. And do we not all agree? Our true heroes do not make enough money. It's just crazy. We think about athletes and actors and the amount of money those people make. And then here's these heroes running into buildings that are on fire and running to things that we run away from. So I'm hoping to get them more money. Okay. This is the story that I can't wait for Zach to react to. I talked about karma. Okay, you run from police, and then you get attacked by an alligator, folks. That's what happened to this man. He was attacked by an alligator during a DWI investigation. Can you imagine? This happened in Louisiana. He was attacked by an alligator during an investigation into driving while intoxicated. State troopers were called to the reports of a Toyota driving recklessly on Sunday, and according to police, the car hit a concrete barrier, blew a tire. They found the car headed south. The driver allegedly showed signs of impairment, but then he ran from the scene. Troopers said he jumped from the interstate into the swamp below, and then they found him walking along the highway. When they approached him, he allegedly went back into the swamp, attacked by an alligator, sustaining injuries to both arms. They said he was still trying to run from law enforcement, was eventually found with help from a drone, and then he was taken to the hospital for injuries. I mean, come on. You could have just stayed on scene. You could have done the walk like they asked you to do, and then be handcuffed and been taken in because, again, you were driving while intoxicated. Instead, karma. The alligator got the guy. I'm glad that he's okay and it was just his arms, but can you imagine? I mean, I just said, you know what happens with karma. Okay, Bausch & Lomb, unfortunately, laying off workers here in Kirkwood, Missouri at their facility. So this, unfortunately, is not the best of news. So if you know anyone that works in that area, obviously, it's actually beginning in August when we'll start to see these notices go out. The layoffs are expected to be permanent, unfortunately. First separations occurring August 10th, layoffs completed by December 17th. The layoffs, according to the company, may come in stages depending on business needs. Affected employees will not have bumping rights, and they are not members of a union. That will affect multiple job classifications, including manufacturing associates, material associates, quality inspectors, and supervisors. Again, this is happening in August. 38 workers will be separated on August 10th, 15 separated September 3rd, and 66 workers will be separated on December 17th. The entire facility is not being closed. All affected employees have been notified of their separation dates already, so this isn't new news to them. That's the good news. I don't want you to ever think that I'm delivering something that these people don't know about, but it's just very unfortunate. Speaking of unfortunate, I mentioned this, and I think Zach could feel in me that I was very upset by this. You all know that I was never blessed with children, and this is one question I'll have with God of the amount of women that are out there that would have loved to have had kids. And then you have something like this. A baby was found abandoned in a Cahokia Mounds parking lot. Folks, this baby, they are saying, might be a week, maybe a month old. And unfortunately, they are now looking, police in Collinsville, asking for your help after this baby was found abandoned Sunday night in a car seat at the Cahokia Mounds parking lot. According to the Collinsville police, they responded just after 8:30 Sunday evening to a report of a baby left in a car seat in a parking lot. And when they got there, they found the baby sleeping, appearing to be in good health. Police said the child was taken to a nearby Hospital for evaluation. You're seeing the clothes, an orange and white striped onesie that the newborn was wearing, and a small hat in a green and black Evenflow car seat. Investigators say witnesses saw the vehicle in a Cahokia Mounds parking lot about, again, 8 o'clock on Sunday evening. Police were told by witnesses the vehicle was extremely loud, sounded like it was going to blow up. The car was last seen going west on Collinsville Road after leaving the parking lot. So they are asking for any information on this case. If you know anything at all, please contact the Collinsville Police Department, or you can call Crime Stoppers. That's 866-371-TIPS. Tips can be submitted anonymously. It's just heartbreaking. I don't understand how that happens, nor do I understand how you have the wrong body at a funeral home. This happened. This is a real story. This is not her. That is a quote from a family that says the wrong body was buried after a funeral home mix-up. This was in North Carolina. The family says they attended a loved one's funeral over the weekend, but the body was not the one in the casket. Vivian Fairley died back in May. Stellar Williams died the following day. Their funerals were scheduled one day apart. However, according to Fairley's family, Williams' body ended up in her casket and vice versa. Can you imagine this happening? I mean, come on, you're already grieving and you're so upset, and then you're like, that's not her. It's crazy. I wonder how often that happens, by the way. Don't you? To scratch your head? I don't know. Okay, I'm excited. This is my favorite story of the day. A high school graduate's milestone moment, and it doesn't have to do with his graduation per se. A special moment from a Florida high school grad is touching hearts all over. This went viral. One graduate receiving a milestone moment that means so much more than receiving the diploma. Raines High School graduate Tyone Newsom walked across the stage to receive his diploma last Monday, and he became the first male graduate on both sides of his family, a moment years in the making that sparked an emotional reaction from loved ones, and actually many as this went viral. Among those celebrating was his uncle, whose heartfelt response to the achievement has resonated with thousands online. Video of the moment has been shared widely, with many praising the family for highlighting the importance of education and perseverance. And again, so many saying, I'm so proud of you. You did that for me, for the whole family. You hear me? No matter how hard I thought it was going to be, the family said, I have your back. Among those celebrating online was rapper Lil Bosey, who said he was proud of the first generation graduate. Way to go. I love hearing stories like that. Okay, I've been talking about the fact that we have our first responders we're discussing. And, you know, a lot of us go to the Guns N' Hoses event over the years, raise money at the Guns N' Hoses, the boxing event, obviously for our backstoppers. And I love to also tell you about Responder Rescue because they do amazing work. Well, this gentleman did a lot for Guns N' Hoses and unfortunately has passed away at the age of 70. Longtime St. Louis Guns N' Hose executive director, being remembered for years of service to the first responders and the charitable work that he did across the region. Again, Steve Holly, rest in peace. He has died at the age of 70. Budweiser Guns N' Hoses said that they were deeply saddened by the passing of Steve Holly. The organization said he dedicated much of his life to supporting the mission of Guns N' Hoses and Backstoppers. So the organization said at the family's request, their privacy be respected during this difficult time. I would imagine that he and his family would probably want, donations to go to Backstoppers since that was such a big mission for him. All right, I love to deliver this news. The Cardinals shutting out, not just winning, but shutting out the Mets 7-0. You gotta love that. And they are back in action today. It'll be the Cards and the Mets. First pitch will be at 6:10. And I mentioned the FIFA World Cup. That kicks off, by the way, tomorrow. Mexico and South Africa playing at 2 p.m. It's South Korea against Czech at 9 p.m. And then on Friday, we got a bunch of games on tap as we head into the weekend. USA plays Paraguay in Group D. Friday night, that game will be at 8 p.m. All right, you ready for the National Day of Calendar? Let's give you that. It is National Black Cow Day, National Iced Tea Day. And I want to ask you, drop a comment in for me right now. Where is the best iced tea? Now, I'm going to say it's in the South, and that's the only time I would probably drink sweet tea, but you have to, don't you, when you're in the South? But where? What chain, by the way, has the best iced tea? Both Zach and I agree, McAllister's Deli. It is unbelievable. It's strong, as it should be. Where do you like where do you like iced tea? Tell me that. And then have some. National Iced Tea Day, National Frosted Cookie Day, National Egg Roll Day, National Herbs and Spices Day, and it is National Ballpoint Pen Day. And I got to tell you, I am a huge fan of a good pen. Are you as well? You're with me on that one? One more thing I want to pass along to you, and this is for the area in Pacific, Missouri. You could witness history. This is on tap today, and I want to give a shout out to Shane and Jen Meyer. They own the Cigar Vault and the Landing Hub, and Landing Hub is exactly where you can go to meet the world champion cyclist Joe Barr. He is arriving today, 11 o'clock this morning at the Landing Hub in Pacific. He is attempting to become the first person to officially set a Guinness World Record for cycling the entire length of Route 66. And by the way, there's a big celebration going on with Route 66. Meet Joe, take photos, hear his story, cheer him on. They're going to have food and beverages available for purchase. It is free and open to the public. Again, today, 11 a.m., let's give Joe Barr a warm welcome from everyone and congratulate him again on what his feat that he is trying to complete. Joe Barr today, 11 a.m. at the Landing Hub in Pacific, Missouri. So I hope you can get a chance to get out there and cheer him on. All right, folks. Well, good morning to you. If you're just tuning in, that's how we do it. Our first 15 minutes of the show, we like to run down some news you can use and then get you on your way into our show. Today, let's take care of our first responders. We're going to bring in Trisha Rhodes from Exist Stretch. We're going to show you and talk about my husband, my first responder, and his reaction finally getting on the table. While he was being stretched by Trisha, I was being stretched by Tim. And I told you, they've got great therapists. Trisha, as well as Tim and Justin and Claire, they all do great work, whether it's the St. Louis Hills location or if it is the Arnold, Missouri location. What I'm going to say is, if you haven't been in yet, there's a great deal coming up for our fathers, and we'll let you know more about that when we return.
Don't miss a hot tub and swim spa blowout sale this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the St. Charles Convention Center in the North Hall. Choose from over 25 American-made units on display. See hot tubs, swim spas, and cold tubs all ready for immediate delivery. Save up to 50% on MSRP. Financing is available. For more info, call 1-800-SPA-SALE. That's 1-800-SPA-SALE.
Welcome back to the Real Monica Adams Show. You know, I had a comment from someone the other day and said, where should I go to tour because my mom and my dad are not doing the best? And I was like, oh, well, obviously Garden View. That is where we had my mother back when she broke her femur after she got out of the hospital. She was at Garden View in Chesterfield for a few weeks, and they took phenomenal care of her. You're looking at the activities. We're going to talk a little bit more about that, by the way, coming into later this month, because they just went to Jazz at the Bistro and had a chance to see some jazz. They get their nails done. They get their hair done. You can see they're playing different types of card games. Again, it's to keep the mind, the spirit, and the soul all active. They love it. In fact, there's a testimonial from someone that said, thank you to all the wonderful caregivers who attended to Mike during his short stay at Garden View. I know there were times you probably wanted to tie him to his chair, but he never wanted to give up trying to walk. My daughter and I especially want you to know how much we appreciate your patience and kindness during his final weeks as you accommodated our needs to see and speak with him. You are all truly God's hands. That was from DD making that testimonial. And again, there are so many. Garden View Cares, truly, that's the website, gardenviewcares.com. O'Fallon, Missouri, also in Valley Park and in Chesterfield, Missouri. And can't wait to tell you more about them in the coming months. Well, welcome back. I'm your host, Monica Adams. We're going to talk with Trisha Rhodes from Exist Stretch. So welcome in, first of all.
Thank you.
Okay, somebody just said, did you put something in my tea? I'm not drinking tea. I am just drinking water. She can attest to that. I have water in my cup. But I got up and worked out at 4 o'clock this morning.
I love it. Yeah.
So Mark Wahlberg does it every single day. She's shaking her head.
I do not.
I do not. Good, Monica. You do that. I'm actually in a challenge, as you know, with my clients, and they never know what the challenge is that I'm going to give them for the day. And so last night I wrote, "Here's what I want you to focus on. I want you to do 30 minutes of meditation. I want you to start clearing your mind, and then tomorrow morning I want you to wake up 30 minutes prior to when you normally do, and then get 30 grams of protein in right after that."
Oh wow!
And I'm already getting text messages saying this is so out of my comfort zone.
Look how alive you are.
Right, and that's what I'm thinking. Like maybe this is what we need to do. So look, they're all posting.
Oh, wow.
Isn't this awesome?
Yeah.
So one of them said, "Done. I slept great. Just finished a 30-minute cardio sculpt video and my plank. I'm not a morning person, so it definitely pushed me out of my comfort zone, which is good."
That's great.
This is why we do what we do, right? And then, breakfast, plank completed, walked 30 minutes. I cannot believe how great I feel. I think I want to do this regularly.
I was going to say.
You're
on fire.
I am slap happy. Now we'll see. I need to get to bed earlier, right? That's what needs to happen. All right, Julie just said, "I saw Trisha on Monday." Oh, thank you, Julie, for going in.
Yeah.
She said she loved it.
Okay, great.
All of my community, you guys are fantastic. You saw Janice yesterday? Mm-hmm. She said her butt was hurting?
Well, her back, her
well, because we did a glute workout.
She's like, we did a leg workout.
Do you like a good pen, by the way? Today is National Ballpark Pen Day.
It's crazy how many people talk about a pen.
I love a good pen.
I never think, I really am not into it. It's just something you use to write something up. But there are so many people that are like, "Oh, that's a good pen."
Until you get a good one. You'll understand.
My husband steals pens from people because he thinks it's a great pen.
I would have asked.
I know. We go places and he goes, "That's a good pen. Can I have this pen?" And I'm like,
my husband asked the waiter the other day, when we were traveling, we were in Memphis, and the waiter had like 10, and he goes, "Can you tell me why you guys all do that?" He goes, "Is it because people steal pens?"
Yeah, pretty much.
And he's like, "Well, maybe, but it's also because if you have a big table,
yeah.
you have pens for everybody."
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I was like, I think it's because people steal them.
Yeah. It's like, and even like Stephanie's always like, it has to be a great pen, and everything has to be a great pen.
Stephanie.
And there
Stephanie, by the way,
there
is the
are
boss.
people that are like that.
Okay, I love a good pen, and I've gotten some that are they have my name on it, which I love. Don't steal Monica's pen.
Exactly.
Well, Rose said I love pens, but I accidentally signed a bill at a restaurant, and I must have kept the pen by accident.
Yeah.
By accident. The waitress chased me down. Oh,
yeah.
Chased me down for her pen in front of everyone dining. My friends call me a pen thief. They will never let me forget it. Hey, Johanna, she's joining from Cancun. I love to know where people are watching from. Good morning to you. Good morning. Anne's been into you.
Yay.
She loves it. Companion Cafe has a great iced tea. Black mango. Okay, good to know. Where do you think they have good iced tea? Or do you like iced tea?
I'm not an iced tea.
Because today's National Iced Tea Day, by the way.
It's
You don't
water.
like iced tea?
It's water all day long.
Really?
But I will have one occasionally,
there,
but
yeah.
I'm not like iced tea connoisseur.
Well, no,
but
not
I
at all.
do.
But when you have a good one, you know it.
I do know McAllister's.
Yeah, see? Yes.
Yeah.
We all said
Yeah, I
McAllister's.
think I know people.
They're known for it.
Yeah.
And they're huge, by the way. But the reason why is it's actually strong. It's the way
Oh,
an
okay.
iced tea should be. But I agree. Mine's all water.
And it's usually always depending on, is it a sweet tea or is it
Do you like sweet tea
unsweetened?
or
I like
unsweetened?
unsweetened
Yes,
tea.
so do I.
Yeah.
But I put stevia or honey in it.
Oh, okay. No.
What do you put in your iced tea, by the way? Today. Okay, I feel, all right, so we were talking about a sad story. I feel it is better to drop off the baby than to hurt the baby because maybe they were overwhelmed. All right, I agree with that. Scott said shocking news about the child. Did you hear? There was a week to maybe 1 month old child that was just left abandoned. So Collinsville police are asking for information to find who in the world would have left a baby. But you are correct. If they were going to abuse that child and it's going to go to someone else, maybe I should adopt that child. I want a kid so bad. You guys,
She's on fire.
did you know that about me? I love children. Okay, Horrible Scott says, you must think the state of the mother and father, what's going through their minds. Thank goodness the baby was found okay. Exactly. Welcome, Chief Juan. We're talking about first responders today. It is a tough job, so that's our new St. Louis County Police Chief. Good morning. Zach, did you put something in your tea? No. Good morning, friends. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right. We have good mornings from all of you. Feel free to drop any comments in. Zach said, big pen lover here. Sharpie S Gel is my go-to. See? I'm telling you. All right. You have a lot of things you can comment on this morning, so tell us if you like a pen. Tell us if you like iced tea and where to get it from. And then tell me if you've been in to see Trisha or Tim or Claire or Justin. So thank you, by the way, for finally stretching Jim.
I am so excited to hear this story.
So he came into you. Now, he was a little probably apprehensive because the 30 plus years that he has been a police officer,
This looks amazing.
wearing
Now,
the
here's the
vest
thing, Jim, a lot of
and
people
wearing
are
their
gonna look at
belts,
this and
he
go,
has,
"Oh my
he
gosh,
has
does it
said,
hurt?"
I'm sure my
does
hips
not
are
hurt.
shot.
It actually
Just
feels
from the
very
way
good.
everything is that they have to put on.
I
The
can
other
feel
is
my-
that he had a
my
tear
glute now
or
is
has a
very tight.
tear in his
And so
shoulder.
it's not hurting,
And
it's
then
releasing
also
the
he
blood.
had
So when I came in here and
3
said, "Oh, I
knee
really
surgeries.
don't have any
Right,
issues,"
so
I'm
when you were
finding
saying,
out
like,
now
you have
that
any concerns?
actually I
Yeah, it
do.
was so funny. Immediately he was like, nope, no
A lot of
concerns.
areas
I'm
of
just
my
here.
body, yes.
Which
that-
is
that need to
which
be
is
typical.
stretched.
See, I'm so happy you came in
hiding.
because you
It's
didn't
kind of like
understand.
people
I
will
said, "You just
say,
have to
"Oh,
get on
I
the
don't have any
table," right?
concerns," but I can feel it once I put your feet in my hands. As far as I can feel the tension
Yep.
of trying to have a conversation to have you got just let go and relax. It wasn't. I told a few people had said, "Oh, Jim was on shape." I'm like, you guys, like from the first second I had him to the last second was night and day. To where he's on the table and I go, he's Mr. Jokey, and love it. I love you're both banter back and forth, and you would want him to get a little bit of a testimony, and he's joking with you, and you had to like stop recording because you're like, stop it, I really want this, and I was laughing the whole entire time, but trying to get him comfortable because even though he's like, oh no, it's fine, and I'm moving. He doesn't know the routine as far as what I'm trying to do. So he wasn't really trying to help me, but I can see there was some resistance.
Yes.
Till the last, I guess he became a believer 20 minutes in. Tim's stretching you, you're relaxed, we're having conversation in the room. But then it got to the point where then he's like, hands above his head, and he's like completely into it, and like you can feel it, and then how the muscles react when you are just letting
Relax,
go.
yes.
So much of a better stretch.
Yeah.
I can really get into it, and
fair enough.
his reaction, basically, I was like, "How you doing?" He's like, "Oh yeah,
Oh, sure enough.
yeah, I can really do this." I'm like, "Yeah, you
Well,
can."
his comment was, I'm a believer. And that was the biggest thing, is he needed to just completely relax. I think for the majority of you, when you go in for the first time, it is an unknown. And so you're probably tightening up. You're probably working against the therapist when you should trust. And then I know if it is unfamiliar to you that you don't know what to do. So we're just trying to let you know when you go in for that first time, it is as much as you possibly can to relax. If you've been into a massage before, if you've gone to a chiropractor, they will actually start talking to you to try to shift your mindset so you're not thinking about tightening up, right? It's these little things you all do to get us to relax.
And a lot of times it can be one of two. I like to talk. Other therapists may try a different approach. I like the conversation because it's like when you get a shot, like the doctor or the nurse is always talking to you, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Okay, you're done." You're like, "Oh,
it
like,
happened."
Yeah, it's all gone. But the first responder, police are in a different field, kind of in an edge of a mother, kind of where you're always on.
Yeah.
You always have to be aware. So even though you're talking to somebody, you have that keen sense of something else is going on. I have to be aware. So it's very hard for them to relax on the table.
Yeah.
Completely. So it's like, even though I'm having a conversation, I feel as if he still was switched on his mode of, I have to be alert and aware because if someone's going to come up behind me, or I'm like,
Oh my gosh, you're right. I wasn't even thinking of
yeah,
that.
it's something, even with the mother, it's like, I have that problem relaxing. And we all know if you're that person, always helping the nail technician with pedicure, and you're even talking, I'm still holding my leg up and you can let go and your leg's still up. You're like, oh, I'm sorry. Because it's just something
happens to
that
me.
you always do. And I'm that alert of a mother as well, where I'm going on the thing, but if I hear noise, I move. It's something I can't shut off. I work with it, but that's the field of, I know he's trying to relax, but I know he's not. Until that moment he did relax, it was like,
Well,
here
right.
you go.
And that's probably when he said, now I'm a believer. But you just made me laugh because I was just getting my nails done the other day, and I thought I was relaxed, and she kept going, she was pulling on my thumb, and I'm
They
like,
get
what?
mad at you.
And she
They
finally
do.
went,
Yeah.
and I went, Oh, I'm not relaxing my thumb. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not in the right position
Yeah,
for you.
exactly.
Folks, if you're just tuning in, we're having fun today. All right. This is talking about our first responders. And I love what Zach put up on the screen for us, which was, again, we think of police, we think of firefighters, but it's the levels of who is a first responder. Do not forget about those incredible nurses, doctors, the paramedics, as well as our soldiers on the front line. Those are all first responders. And so when we talk about how they are the heroes and they normally don't take care of themselves, it's time for them to take care. And maybe sometimes you just got to nudge them to get in, like I did. Once Jim was in there, I was trying to listen to the conversation at the same time, trying to relax and focus on me. I did hear him say, how often do I need to come in? And I heard you say, Monica should probably be here once a week. Is that what I heard you say? What did you say about for him?
I honestly, once a week as well.
Okay.
But for the most part, it really is time. And I think that is the biggest edge with first responders because of their workload and trying to fit their daily life within their work schedule.
Yeah.
And this is something, but for me, once a week, if they could, because the stretching and the preventative, but it's for mental clarity, and it really is a sense of time for themselves to get that last 10 seconds of him being on that table of finally letting go.
Yeah.
And this is where I didn't know how, like I said, I stretch a lot of people and they leave. I never know how they're going to receive it or how it's going to affect them. But I will say to you, Jim's very talkative in a sense, in a social way. And he's not just a few times meeting him. But he was on and joking and having a good time and conversation, and it was flowing. But that last 10 minutes of stretching him, when he finally let go, it changed to when he got off the table. I explained to him, like, there's 4 stages of assisted stretching that people go through. They can pop up and be like, oh, that's great, and they'd be in a mood. But then the stage 2 is, okay, like I feel relaxed. And then it's like they go to stage 3 where it's this zombie kind of look towards them. And I
remember his comment.
He shifted in a way. I just stood, I go, hey, are you okay? and I go, you in like stage 2? And I go, and he's like, yeah, I just... Like
he said he felt tired.
Yeah, he just...
He said, my legs are now tired.
Yeah, they're tired.
Like
and then
you
hit a thing, and then it's like you can be in the car on the way home, and you're just maybe not realize where you're driving to or where you're going.
Let me ask you this, Trish. And by the way, folks, this is your show. As you're popping on this morning, feel free to drop any kind of questions or comments in. If you've been in, like Julie said, Rose has been in there, Janice has been in there, Pete's been in, Richard's been in. Rose, you need to get in there. I saw you on. If you have questions, my client Becky the other day was like, do they have any specials coming up? Well, guess what? Yes. They have a Father's Day special coming up. You don't have to be a father for this, right? You can just go in and take advantage of it. But my question to you is, so 3 for $99, by the way. So get on this. This is running right now through Sunday?
Father's Day.
All right,
the 21st.
So folks, from now to the 21st, you are able to get 3 for $99. Put that into comparison to what it normally is.
It's $60 for one drop-in visit.
There you go.
And even if you had
the two, isn't it usually $89 for 2? So you're getting 3 for $99.
Yeah, so like it can be down as low as $40 per the membership that you have.
Yeah.
But typical membership is the maintain, which is twice a month, and that's $44.50 a session.
I love this.
So
3 for $99. Okay. So again, it's existstretch.com or at existstretch on social media. Again, St. Louis Hills on Hampton, 5605 Hampton, and then the one on Vogel Road is in Arnold, inside of Exist Fitness. And again, find the one that works best for you. My question before we go to the break is it similar to the fact that it's usually 30 minutes. They could do 60, but he did 30 minutes. Does it feel like he did a 30-minute yoga routine and that's why he's a little tired? I mean, I know you did the work, but
I think
the muscles are still going through something.
Yes. I think honestly, within yoga, you are still present and still holding your own. So if I did you get to the point, and then you get to meditation at the end of a typical yoga class. But for here, you don't have to do anything or hold any resistance. Usually it's within the spine, and you try to let go before you do at meditation. But during the workout, you are holding your body up. This one is on the table, completely relaxed.
Well, you want them to be relaxed. I'm going to say, though, the people, and I think he did kind of in the beginning, the people that are fighting against, I would love for someone to wear an Apple Watch and to see what their heart rate does.
I would love that as well.
I think we should do that. I should come in and you
then
should be able
set
to
it.
keep an eye on
People
it
always
for
have
me.
it and always ask me
Yeah.
if, should I take my watch off? I'm like, no, just be as comfortable as you
I'd like for
possibly
you to
can.
pay attention to
but
heart
that
rate.
would be, that I honestly, great point.
Well,
I've
because in the
never
beginning,
thought
for
of
someone
that.
who's never been before, they're probably a little fearful, maybe a little scared. Heart rate's going to be up a little bit. So as we know, some calories are being burned
Yeah.
with the heart rate being up. As they relax, you probably could watch it go, oh my gosh, I don't know if you know or not, but you just dropped down 40, maybe
That would be
40 beats.
I've done it, but just I'm working out, to be honest with you. So
right.
I get a good workout when I.
Oh, I know you. You and Tim both, by the way. I'm going to take a break. Let's give a shout out to Tim. Tim was torquing his body. I didn't say twerking, but he could have. Torquing his body so much while he was moving me around. I don't know if Jim captured
Did
any
he
of that.
stop to get a drink of water or something?
Oh, he may have. He probably needed to. I swear he put himself into a snake position at one point to get me really stretched. We're talking about Exist Stretch, going into Father's Day, a wonderful Father's Day special. But our first responders, why do they and you need to take care of yourself? And why haven't you been in yet? If you haven't, again, we're going to keep stressing all the incredible benefits. Julie just said, I got myself a Father's Day special. There
Yeah.
you go. Fantastic. So we'll let you know how you can get that. And if you have any comments or questions for Tricia, drop them in right now as we head to break.
What if you could start your day feeling loose, relaxed, and ready? Deep hydrotherapy right in your backyard. Relax with your family or friends, or work out with our Michael Phelps Edition swim spas. Worried about maintenance? We have factory-trained service nearby whenever you need it. Plus, we're here for you long-term if you have any questions or need to refill supplies. You can even test spas at our showrooms. Spas and More, A+ rated, locally owned for 20 years. We put the ah in spa.
Welcome back to the Real Monica Adams Show. I'm Monica, this is Tricia, and we're talking about all of you that really need to take care of your bodies on this Wellness Wednesday. But we really want to focus on our first responders and our fathers. Why should they get in? Think about what they do to their bodies. Think about the equipment alone. I mentioned police officers, but think of these firefighters right now, putting all that equipment on in a 107-degree heat index. It's so dangerous what they do. And that obviously affects their physical body, but think about what it does to them mentally. So when you get in and get stretched, it goes many levels of what that is helping. But overall, what do you think first responders would get? Because they might have been thinking about this and then haven't pulled the trigger yet because they haven't gotten the aha moment. So yeah, I love this. Key reasons why first responders need to stretch. Let's break some of these down.
Okay. One, like I just mentioned, overall mental health, what they tackle in a daily shift, to bring it home, but generally just to clear their mind and get them into a state of relaxation is key. One, to carry it over into your family life, but also into your next day.
Yeah.
It does take a toll. And like I said with Jim, it was nothing monumental was going on, but just to see him just kind of get to the point where I think I can take a nap right now and be that relaxed is a golden, I believe.
Do you remember what he said to you? He was like, so this got me out of doing lawn work.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to cut the grass
Yeah.
that day, but he's like, all right, I'll come over. I'm like, hey, I just want to film you. I want to have you on the table. And I want to
Yeah.
have me on the table. And so once he was done with that, he's like, well, yeah, mowing the
I'm
grass
not-
is not
no,
happening
not
today.
gonna happen, yeah.
So he was like so relaxed. And you're right. It is to be more present with your family, which is so key.
Yeah.
What we know they go through. Maybe it has them so relaxed that they start to, tap into the spirit and the soul and maybe start talking about some of the things they go through, which we
Absolutely.
need to happen.
Yeah, specifically the baby that you're speaking of, that
I can't
that is
imagine.
traumatic.
Exactly.
And it weighs on your mind and then it comes out in different forms.
Yeah.
So if you can just kind of get there and release it, I think that to me is, and anybody in general, but basically for first responders and what they have to see on a daily basis and absorb and trap inside.
Yep.
It's, yeah.
Well, and then there's a video that I had taken that you said, Monica, come here, look at where Jim's heels are.
Oh, yes. Why did I forget about that? But that was
I knew
significant.
for a
yeah.
fact that he had always said, oh yeah, I've got one leg longer than the other. And so like with my mom will hem pants and she's like, oh, okay, well this one's longer. But it's something that he's always just said, this is just going to be.
Everyone's.
His is significant though. So she showed me from heel to heel when you started. It was like 17, maybe 18 minutes in. She's like, okay, come here. We'll do it again. And it was literally even. Now his comment was, that's just magic. She's just like doing something. She's just doing a magic show.
Oh my God. It really is. It really is magic, to be honest with you. But some people come in and it's just really like paper thin slightly. It's off. You know their hips are off. So I really hone in on when they're laying on the table to make sure both hips are even on the table. And then I'll pull and get traction to see, okay, where we are. Few moves in, sometimes it gives way really quick. That means it's just a little bit of fascia release, but otherwise, sometimes it takes 2 or 3 moves. And he was about 10 minutes in, I think. And then I was like, oh, here you go. That was easy.
I couldn't believe it. And then it was funny because I think everybody, the stretch that really gets everyone is when what you're doing there. How when you cross over and they feel like they're going to come falling off the table.
I call like a spinning turtle a little bit of a move like that.
All right, speaking of a spinning turtle. So I mentioned that while she was taking care of Jim, I had a chance to be stretched by Tim, which I was so glad because I really want to give love to all of your therapists.
Yeah, absolutely.
And everyone's going to be a little bit different. I will tell you right here, he was working, once we had gotten through and did a bunch of stuff with my lower body.
I was excited about your neck.
We went into upper body, as you know, right, because I have a lot of the concussion symptoms, and she knows that my whole area of my upper back and my neck and my head. So we were in that occipital area. We were also talking about, so here he wanted me to kind of give like a big hug and stretching and then seeing the same thing I was just saying about with the legs. Where was I landing? And one was a little bit higher than the other. There's me just completely relaxed. I will tell you that's normally really tight. He said, and I think Trisha has said before, that my pecs are really, really tight. My shoulder surgery I had back in my 20s
you can see right
was well, actually the doctor tied it into my pec.
Okay.
So that's one reason why my left side's so tight, trying to always get that stretch. But I will tell you what hurt for me, and it was interesting. Tim didn't hurt me. It was just, oh my gosh, I need to take care of this, was the temporal region and my jaw. I told you I had been stressed, and he's working on my jaw. He was like, do you have any jaw issues? I'm like, yes. The dentist told me, are you grinding your teeth? And I'm like, I guess. What are you laughing at?
That's because you find out things and people ask you questions and it happens. I'm like, did you do the well, yes, I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, because I never had, but they were like, yeah, you might want to wear a guard at night. And Jim goes, oh, that's sexy. I was like, shut up, you'll be sleeping.
Yeah.
I'm trying to take care of the enamel on my teeth.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is. If you know us, we're type A, we're constantly working, even in our sleep. I'm trying to take care of all of my clients. And what's the next thing I got to do? I got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and check. So I'm like, and it's tightening everything up in here, which is not good for the alignment of everything else. So he was working on all of that. But so he comes from a massage background, right? Can definitely tell that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he is more quiet, very in the zen with you.
Oh, yeah.
And he's breathing with you, which is why I knew he had a massage background, because they will get you to breathe. Right here is actually talking about some things that he had just learned, by the way, about how many times, like let's think Pilates, where they will tell you to do the C curve and then you take and actually put your spine into the mat. And he was like, no, I was just learning something recently where when you're doing certain exercises that you should have that, not a huge, but a natural curve in the back, and then take your hand and put it onto the oblique. And then there's certain movements to go into. And he's like, that's actually how the body should be. We do have that natural curve. So why are we trying to flatten it out?
It's always been that work within the industry as far as hollow body and keep it into set position. And is that set position?
Right.
What's your normal?
I mean, you don't want lordosis, right? You don't want to have this extreme like this, but at the same time, we do have a natural curve. We're supposed to have a natural curve there and have a natural curve here. My neck, by the way, was literally like this after the accident. We had x-rays done, and they're like, come here and look at your neck. Like that. No curve whatsoever. Oh, yeah. Well, and now you understand when you
Yeah.
start to work on me, you're like, what's happening in your
yeah,
neck?
yeah.
But yeah, so folks, we're talking about all of you athletes. Think about injuries that you've had. If you were in a car accident, if you have a job where it's physically demanded on you, let's talk about construction workers.
I literally had that example the other day because across the street, there was a building that they were getting the roof repaired and stripped and redone. But we were talking about first responders, and there was a woman on the table that was a firefighter. So I had a conversation with her about what do you like the summer? She goes, I don't know. It's a difference between summer and winter. Winter, you have it in the fire, but she's like, but the extreme cold of the water and everything. So it's like it's frozen, but then you're dying in the summer because of the heat. And I said, like roofers, I don't know how they're on there in this extreme heat and with all those clothes for protection, but also the belt of the carpentry belt that they have on there of weighing them down. I'm like, it goes in the same circle of all that weight, heat, exhaustion, and you're slumping. You're not in good postural position because of being tired.
I have always felt so, again, any of you that have to work outside. So we're talking about if you are just tuning in and you missed the news you can use, the big news of the day for the next couple of days is the heat. We're talking about heat index today, 102, heat index tomorrow of 104, maybe even higher than that. Yesterday, my car said 99. And I know a lot of times you're in the sun and they're always like, well, it's like, that's not really what it is. I don't know. I mean, these are the temperatures, 94, 95 for actual temperatures, but feel like temperatures. And then you put all those clothes on. Can we please say this? We're going to go to a break. Do not leave a kid or an animal in a hot car or a freezing cold car either, because the temperature in that car is usually a good 20, 30, 40 degrees difference.
Within seconds of you leaving that car.
It is so dangerous. And we're just running into the store real quick. No.
Let me give you an example before you break. I, of course, am go. I literally was in the car. I left a banana in the car in the extreme heat. When I got out of work, it was literally like cooked. It was like a banana bread.
Somebody baked me bread.
Yeah, and I was like, I was floored.
Well,
just for a few hours, literally, it cooked in the car.
I had a can of carbonated water that I grabbed from here that I was excited to drink. It was some new flavor they had here, and it was bubbled at the bottom. They always tell you to watch out, like aerosol cans of hairspray. They will explode in your car. So when I got in, I'm like, oh my God, look at the bottom of my can.
Yeah,
that's what's happening in the heat right now. So again, dangerous conditions. Please
check on your elders.
On your elderly. We're like my twin. Check on the elderly. Check on the kids. Check on anyone that has special health concerns. Do not leave the animals outside. Please, please, please. Those are all the special health warnings that we can pass along to you. Okay, Father's Day special. If you didn't hear about it, we're going to let you know more on that, how you can get it. And again, any questions? Pete's watching. Good morning to you. Thank you for getting in and getting stretched. By the way, we always ask you to support those that support us, and it's an ongoing list. In fact, a couple of really exciting meetings over the next couple of days with more sponsors that are getting ready to join the Real Monica Adams Show. We love it. Positive brands putting positive brands together. More with Trisha Rhodes from Exist Stretch. Hi, it's Monica Adams. Thank you so much for following along with the Real Monica Adams Show. But I wanted to let you know there's so much more that I could do with you, your business, your corporation. Did you know that I'm a motivational speaker all around the world, as well as an MC and an auctioneer? So if you have an event, maybe a nonprofit organization, and you want to book me, just shoot me an email, info@therealmonicaadams.com. Welcome back to the Real Monica Adams Show. Again, Exist Stretch. Have you been in? If you have, when you get in, please, if it's live during the show, drop in a comment of that aha moment that you get. Let me know what changed immediately throughout the rest of the day and in the days after, how many times you've gotten in. Again, my client the other day was saying, hey, this might be a really good thing for a friend of mine. Should I buy a gift certificate? And I was like, yes. And she's like, do they have any specials? Yes. So the special right now, 3 3 for $99 for Father's Day. So running from now through the 21st. Let's take care of our dads. Again, you've got a great father or grandfather or uncle. Again, maybe it's a mentor in your life that you think of like a father figure. What an incredible thing to gift them. Again, 3 for $99, and you don't have to be a father. As Julie said, she took advantage of it and like, hey, I got a Father's Day gift. Yeah, just enjoy that. So we're talking about how it is completely life-changing. We've mentioned our first responders. I'm talking about anybody who, your body is just off. And I mentioned construction workers because it is a lot of you wearing those belts like you had mentioned. And typically, a lot of the tools are heavier on one side, right? So those hips are off, your spine's off. It's affecting your knees. It's affecting your upper body, your neck, your ankles, everything. When the body's out of alignment, you're like, what is wrong with me, right? So think about that. We are talking about the aspect of once you get in and stretch. So stretching essential to prevent musculoskeletal injuries from repetitive strain, which they do.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, like Jim with his legs being a little bit uneven, most people have that and not even realizing that their walk is off or how they sleep and why one side hurts more than the other. It really stems from that in your functional movement. So with it just being slightly off, you don't notice it until there's a strain.
Yep.
And then you're like 3 steps back of where you should be.
Right.
Preventative as far as getting that. When the muscle is tight and I drop something on the floor, it can just take one movement of that not being ready to be relaxed or just a little bit tight, causes a muscle strain or a tear. And then you're out for 6 to 8 weeks of rehab and all of that when it just could have been prevented by a daily, if not weekly stretch.
So this is what's funny. I was getting my nails done. A lady next to me, I overheard her talking about how she had gone into a particular chiropractor, and she's like, they popped a rib out of place. And she was so upset, and somebody looked over at her, and they're like, wait a minute, chiropractor's supposed to help you. She's like, I'm not going anymore. And so here I am, always being an advocate for you guys. I go, have you ever been professionally stretched? She's like, no. And I go, well, let me tell you about Exist Stretch. She's like, oh, I've heard about those places. They're crazy expensive. And I go, no. I said, in fact, it's like 2 for $89. And she goes, oh, what? That's cheap. I go, and Exist has a special coming up. I just know it for Father's Day.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, well, I need to get in there, and started telling her where it was. So it's interesting, the mindset of people thinking, I can't afford that. And, oh, that's just a luxury thing. It is not. It's overall wellness of preventative so that you do walk around and the body is operating how it is supposed to.
To me, it's worth all of that in gold.
Well, I think she thought it was like hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, and a lot of people do. And I think it's the mindset of a doctoral visit as far as chiropractic. Even certain massage places, it's like an hour, over $100 just for a one time. And we are really budgeted and priced out for you to have a continual stretch at a low cost.
Okay, so let's go through some more. Reducing the physical demands of lifting heavy gear. So you do that on a regular basis. I brought in, let's just think of moms, okay? We're talking about Father's Day. We just came off of Mother's Day, though. Ladies, you're carrying around, these diaper bags. You're carrying around the car seats. You've got baby in one side. Your body's already off. And you're wondering, look at yourself in the mirror. They see it as soon as you walk in. Trisha's regularly said that she's been in the gym and looked out and just wanted to go over to somebody. Can you please come in here?
Yeah, I see people walk by the shop and I'm like, oh, can you just come in? I like that. Looks like it hurts. Yeah, it looks like it hurts.
So we're trying to get you back in place, and once you are, it's not to keep pounding on the body and then not getting in again for months on a time.
Well, just in general, when you work out, you're breaking down your muscle, and then your muscle's repairing, and that's how we grow, and that's how we get fit. But when it's repairing, it will conform to the shape that it's giving, and sometimes it just takes that one time for it to break. And if the preventative is not so much just for the muscle, but it's also for the joint.
Yep. I think if you put a light bulb over each one of your clients, it'll probably give me the time frame of when you have that light bulb. Is it 15 minutes in? Is it 20? Is it 30? Is it once they stand up? Suddenly they get the light bulb moment of, wow.
For people that don't really stretch on the regular, it's literally within the first 5 minutes of me assessing them as far as how I'm going to do my routine with you. And then sometimes somebody like Jim that it's something abnormal, but he's kind of like, okay. And then really when he felt the stretch, you can hear a lot of people like Jim say, oh, that's a good stretch. Oh, I haven't felt that. Oh, okay.
Well, there was comments that he had made, and he was like, oh, is that for the hip flexors? And you're like, yes. And then you dropped his leg down below the bench and said, actually, this is a stretch you should do on a regular basis. And he's like, oh, I do that. I call that my thermostat. So when he's hot.
Oh, yes, he did. That was hilarious.
When he's hot, he puts the foot out and he calls it his thermostat. But yes, he does like a little bit of that stretch. But he made a comment that he had sciatica in the past. And he's like, wow, when she was, turning me, I really definitely felt a stretch in those areas. He said it was one of the most painful things he'd ever gone through when he had sciatica. He had to go to a chiropractor for a long, long time.
You're lost in your mind because this pain is so intense.
It is.
I will drink whatever you're giving me just for it to go away. And I'd say half of everyone that comes in has had it sometime in their life or dealing with it at that moment.
I tell you what, I think I've had a lot of injuries from playing sports over the years. When I had my back injury in college, it was the most painful thing I've ever gone through because sitting in a chair, trying to get up, trying to do any kind of walking, the back, you've got to take care of the back. And so this is one of the reasons they do what they do. Julie said, I feel like I am sitting up straighter. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I think, wasn't it Pete that had said he thought he gained like 2 inches and he was taller? It does. It makes you feel taller. I mean, you and I have good posture. We're always sitting like near the edge of the street and aware of it.
Yeah.
Well, because we're aware of it, right? We might start doing this, but then we're aware of sitting up. We're aware of working our back and our rear delt muscles and how important it is to keep those shoulders back, especially with me having my chest being tighter, my pecs are tighter from that surgery. I work my back like crazy to pull that back. So it's important. We're talking about preventative measures. And then the other aspect is, again, combating that physical stress of sitting. You're talking about sitting in the chair, in your office chair, on your computer, everything forward, scrolling on your phones, sitting in vehicles.
First responders in your vehicle, men on patrol, they're in your car the whole entire time.
Hours and hours in that car. So sitting in the vehicles or rapidly transitioning from rest to high intensity activity. So you think about them sitting in the car, then jumping out right away.
And running as fast as they possibly can at times.
Going after the guy that had a DWI and then the gator got him. If you didn't see the story, it was at the beginning. It was a guy who was stopped for a DWI, and then he ran from police, and he went into a swamp. He got back out of the swamp, he ran again, and then got back in, and the gator got him. I'm sorry that we're laughing. He's okay. He's not dead. He did have some injuries to his arms, but there's your karma. Don't run from police.
Did they give the gator an honorary position or a badge,
He should, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He should get something, or I hope he got fed something.
Yeah.
He got fed some skin from the guy. Look, am I not I need to always work up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
There you go.
This is crazy. Oh, Michelle, hey, baby. My rib has popped out again. I really need to come in. Okay, wow. So she's had, this is one of my best friends. She has had so many different issues. She's had hip surgery. She's had knee surgery. She's had shoulder problems. Now the rib. Yes, Michelle, if you haven't been in yet, I'm telling you right now, she knows me. I would not put my name behind you all if it wasn't. Because again, I worked very, very hard for my name for 34 years. I wouldn't put my name behind this if it didn't change drastically for me. And then Jim. I had Jim say, look, honey, I want you to be honest. If you don't think it was anything, let me know. And he's like, no, he literally used the words, well, now I'm a believer. And I said to him, you need to tell your brothers and sisters in police to please come in. And he's like, do I need to tell them? And I go, you need to tell them. And he's like, okay, yes, you guys absolutely need to come in. He did mention this, though. He believes that it's a generational thing. He believes that the younger generation of our officers and our police and our firefighters, that they do more mind, body, spirit things.
Oh, okay.
As opposed to the older generation guys.
I can see that. I really can. There is a shift in the wellness. It's more, I ask for yoga or more of that, more than before where it's just hardcore in, out,
Yes.
don't speak of it, and I'm done.
No,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right, because Jim believes that he's like, yoga's for girls. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no, it isn't. When a gentleman that is maybe a little bit older, if they would be introduced to yoga and stretching and Pilates, and they would understand core work, trust me, we really, my main thing is get on the table. As soon as you get on the table, trust me, you'll be a believer. Pam said, I will be laughing about the gator all day. I know. I'm so glad I did that story. All right, one more time, folks. How do you get the Father's Day special? So do they come in? Do they call? Do they go
They
online?
can do either. I mean, physically, when they come in, they'll get if you're getting it for somebody, or even it goes right into your account, but you can get a gift certificate and then give it to your loved one on the special day. Otherwise, save it for a birthday or something down the line. It's good for, once you buy it, it's good for a year. So
Oh, okay. So 3 for $99, but as we mentioned, everyone gets a first stretch free, so you're really getting 4 for $99. How often should you be coming in? That is all dependent. You got to get into Trish or get into Tim or Justin or Claire. They'll let you know, hey, you're doing pretty good. Maybe you do a combination of workout where you're doing weightlifting. Maybe you do bar class. Maybe you do dancing, Zumba. Is that still a thing?
it is. I
Zumba?
don't know how many
not as much
studios.
as
I think it's within gyms, but yeah.
Spinning. You do the cycle
I'm actually
studios.
doing it in an hour.
I cannot. Do you do hot yoga?
Personally, no.
Have you ever?
No, I'm not.
I'm not a hot. I don't think I am.
I've taught it,
Oh, you have
not
taught it.
but I've
Okay.
taught yoga, and that it's not my favorite genre because I'm like you on a daily basis. I'm up here and active and jumping off the ceiling, so it's hard for me to teach.
Everybody jump.
Exactly.
Jump,
So I've always given a funny example of being in that class and teaching it, and at the end I'll be like, okay, namaste, have a great day, and everyone's like, it's just not my
Do Mary
forte.
Catherine lunges.
Exactly. Yay. But no, my daughter loves it. Loves it.
Well, here's my
Ex-gymnast
question. Why?
and loves it.
So I have someone who told me that they are doing hot Pilates, which I'm very excited about. I love Pilates. I think if I honestly had to say what is my favorite, I've lifted weights my
yes.
entire life. But when I was introduced to Pilates, when I was dancing and doing a couple competitions, I tell you what, that reformer,
great-
I'm in love with the reformer.
Yeah.
So now they don't have a reformer in the hot studio, but they're doing hot Pilates, they're doing hot yoga, and then I heard they were doing like a combination of like bar, which I do love bar, in a hot room though. The hot room though is always, I don't know, folks, you tell me if you've done these hot yoga classes. It just never, from a marketing standpoint, drew me in. I just feel like I'm just going to be gasping for air. However, I do love a sauna, but I'm not a fan of a steam room if it's crazy. I will say I didn't used to. I used to be where I would get into a steam room like at a resort or a spa, and I'd be like, nope, I'm out. Then I started to do it more and more. I think you just have to regulate your breathing, kind of like cold plunging. You have to regulate breathing.
I was exactly going to say that because even in like a fitness studio and classes say, okay, midsummer and it's starting to get hot and everyone's in there working out. There are people that are, I'm fine with this. And other people are like, put the fan on, it's so hot. So it really depends on you and how you regulate, but breathing and keeping in that zone, high intensity, yes, of course, it will go to a different level. But Pilates and I also teach a Pilates bar kind of class. The warmer, the better.
So do you still teach fitness and the stretching?
Not on a regular,
anymore.
no, but I'm actually filling in today because the girl that took over for me when I left and just did
At Exist
stretching
Fitness?
is on vacation. So I'm
What are
filling
you
in.
teaching?
Today I'm teaching a HIIT class and cycle in an hour.
Do you have any? She's like, I got to get out of here. Do you have any openings?
Oh, yeah.
All right, folks, because I know that the classes that Trisha had, that people would just like bombard to get into her classes. So if you, by the way, have an Exist Fitness membership, or maybe you want to drop in, you want to take a class from her, take a class and then get on her table to get stretched. Okay, one more time. It's existstretch.com. At Exist Stretch on social media. We just mentioned inside of Exist Fitness in Arnold. So if you're in the South County area, I want you to go into that one on Vogel Road, or Exist Stretch St. Louis Hills on Hampton. I love how many of you have already gotten in. I love those of you that are saying, I got to get in. You do. So take advantage from now through the 21st of this incredible special they have. ExistStretch.com and at ExistStretch. Julie said, I do not like hot yoga. It is gross. Someone flicks sweat on me.
Yes, that is actually
That is another thing,
yeah.
right? You're just, and then what if they don't have deodorant? Oh,
Oh,
see,
yeah.
now we're going to go
Yeah,
to
we're
all
on
those levels.
different-
Okay, so what are we feeling today? 100 Days of Freedom from fear and anxiety, depression, anger, shame, overeating, or 100 Days of Healing.
I like the shame.
Shame. Okay. We haven't done that one in a while.
Yeah.
100 Days to Freedom from Shame. We'll do that. Thank you, my friend.
My
Great show. And
pleasure.
again, let's take care of those first responders. Get them a gift. They're probably not going to get in on their own. So give them a gift and maybe get in together. Maybe schedule with Tim and Trisha so that you're both kind of like having a couples massage. You're both. That's what we
And
were doing.
a lot of people do
Well, that's
that.
what we
Yeah.
did. I was being stretched. And again, I will tell you, I mentioned it before. Tim got into some crazy positions, like he was snaking his body down to get that stretch. They are working out with you while you are getting stretched. It is truly absolutely amazing. I can't wait for you all to experience it. So again, first stretch for everyone, absolutely free. You have nothing to lose in that. Trust me, though, you won't be going just once.
Yeah.
You'll know. All right, everybody, when we come back, shame, we're going to break you from it.
Don't miss the hot tub and swim spa blowout sale this weekend at the St. Charles Convention Center. Over 25 American-made units on display. Immediate delivery and financing available. For more info, call 1-800-SPA-SALE.
As I set up a little straighter. So Trisha picked Shame, 100 Days to Freedom from Shame. These books, again, from Stephen Arterburn. And we're on day 48 already. It's called Press On. Forgetting the past, I press on. Philippians 3, verse 13 through 14. I'm sure you've heard it said that we only use about 10% of our brains, but that's a myth. We use all of our brains, though that might be hard to believe when you see the foolish choices that some people make, like running into a swamp and getting bit by a gator.
Exactly.
If you've recently crashed spiritually and are battling to overcome shame, one of your biggest challenges is going to be channeling your considerable brain power in the right direction. In fact, very likely you'll be tempted to overthink what happened. Look back, maybe analyze, and then reanalyze, and then analyze again everything you said or did right up to the moment of that crash. It's going to feel like this is something you should do to make sure the same thing never happens again. But there's a problem here. After making a terrible mistake, most people will start analyzing what happened, don't know when to quit. They go over it over and over again. Maybe they even do it in their sleep, be beating that proverbial dead horse until they feel like garbage. Often they end up in despair, hating themselves. Is this you? Sometimes making a terrible decision as a result of how you're feeling. My advice is to do some reflecting. I'm big on meditation and journaling. Take a day or two if you need it. Sort through what happened and why. Then stop and move on to the next step, whatever that might be. Perhaps you need to offer an apology to someone or make an adjustment to your lifestyle. Sometimes you need to apologize to yourself. Certainly, it will involve spending time with God. And the important thing is to keep moving forward. Don't stay stuck. Don't let yourself get stuck in one place. Cheryl Richardson said, if beating yourself up worked, you'd be rich, thin, and happy. Try loving yourself instead. Today's prayer, dear Lord, give me eyes to see the futility of continuing to browbeat myself for what I did. Help me to trust the sufficiency of your grace and press on in true repentance. I like this book. I haven't had the one in shame for a while. I'm glad you picked that.
Good.
Thank you, Trisha.
Oh, my pleasure.
I loved it. All right. And to all of you, thank you as well. I do want to let you know about some exciting things coming up. Do you like to shop?
Oh, my God.
I know you're going to say what girl doesn't, but there are
My
some.
second job.
Oh, good. I knew you were my twin. Well, I want you to come here with me. Take a look at this on the screen, folks. The porch in Wildwood. I'm just going to tell you, it's going to be dangerous. We are going to first find out about Jan Kaufman Interiors, the backstory of Jan, coming up at the end of this month. And then we're going to go there. Custom work. So you want to do a upholstery of a chair, maybe. You want anything done of a interior design aspect. This is the woman you want to work with. I'm going to be hard pressed, by the way, to come out of this mobile Monica not buying the entire store. I already bought a candle that's going to replace the one we have here.
Oh, no way.
Oh, it's so cool. It actually has like a cowhide around it, and then the citrus candle in the middle of it. It's neat. And then jewelry and purses and obviously pillows and throws and things that you need for interior, changing things out. Look at this place.
Where
It's
is
in
this?
Wildwood.
Like where in Wildwood?
It is.
I need to know now.
You do need to know. Here's the address on the screen, folks. If you have not been, theporchwildwood.com, located on Manchester Road in Wildwood, Missouri. Yes, you do need to know about it. Well, we're going to be there. We're going to have a noontime show coming up in July on the 14th. June 30th, though, we will hear the backstory of Jan Kaufman, because I always love to know what brings somebody to open a place or how she got into interior design. So that's coming up. Everybody's been always asking me, where's the next Mobile Monica? This one's going to be a fun one for sure. And then we're not doing a Mobile Monica, but we do business spotlights. And this is going to be with a woman named Monica Spittler. She owns Coconut Grove, which is in Washington, Missouri. So do you like resort style clothes?
Yes.
Okay, this is it. This place is ridiculous. The clothes, and then they even have furniture there. They have guys' clothes also, the really silky golf shirts. Guys are loving these, but it all has like that resort feel to it. So Coconut Grove, her name is Monica, get this. Her name is Monica Lynn. That is my name. Isn't this crazy? Okay, I've never met a Monica Lynn in my life. I've now met two. We did something with Apricot Lane Boutique in O'Fallon, Missouri. Her name is Monica Lynn. And now this woman's name is Monica Lynn. And I'm like, oh, God's funny. This is hilarious. So Coconut Grove, we'll be meeting her in the third week of July. She'll be coming in to tell her story, and we'll talk all about it. I'm going to go there and probably come out of shooting footage buying. Pay attention to the
Jim's
clothes.
going to need a stretch to get out of the stress of the credit cards.
My mom taught me to always, I never have interest that ever accumulates my entire life. I've always paid right away. Yes. So whatever I buy will be paid for in that month's time. So that's a good thing, Mom. You taught me well. But pay attention to my clothes over the next few weeks. They might look very resort-esque from Coconut Grove. So if you would like us to come and do a show on you at your location or here in studio, let me know. info@therealmonicaadams.com. We just love spotlighting more and more small businesses. All right, my friend. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you as well. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. From now till then, enjoy the day. Take care of yourself. Hot weather, hot heat index, and even some hail to the north of us, and then more storms coming as we head into Friday. So just be aware of that. Be weather aware. All right? That's the kindness I can pass along to you. Be kind, everybody. God bless.
The Real Monica Adams Show is brought to you by Exist Stretch. Stop by for your free consultation and 30-minute introductory stretch today.